For those of you who are looking online or on a phone or something else, I've got a great audience out here. We've got, I don't know, shucks, maybe a third of the astronaut office, and they're all I told them earlier today they were looking grim, but some of them are smiling now, but I'm going to tell them later they better start smiling. I can't thank you enough for all that you're doing to help us make progress on our ambitious journey to Mars. And although we're talking about commercial crew today, I don't want anybody to lose sight of the fact. Although we're talking about commercial crew today, I don't want anybody to lose sight of the fact that all this. Although we're talking about commercial crew today, I don't want anybody to lose sight of the fact that all this we're doing is so that it will enable us to eventually get humans to Mars. That's what this whole thing's about. We're planning for the first ever year-long ISS increment with the launch of Scott Kelly and Mikhail Kornienko. And we're taking the most concrete steps ever to advance humans to Mars. Many of you, when you were kids, when I was here in the program, when you were kids, probably dreamed of going to Mars. When I was your age, I dreamed of going to Mars. When I came here in 1980, I dreamed of going to Mars, and that was my plan. I was going to go to the moon for a couple of flights, maybe going to Mars. When I was your age, I dreamed of going to Mars. When I came here in 1980, I dreamed of going to Mars, and that was my plan. I was going to go to the moon for a couple of flights, maybe, and then on to Mars. And things didn't work out that way. People always say, we're 20 years from going to Mars. Well, guess what? I think we're on the verge of breaking the 20-year barrier. We're about to go under the 20-year mark. That's why I tell you to smile. Okay? You're the luckiest people in the world. That's why I tell you to smile. Okay? You're the luckiest people in the world. Okay? You're the luckiest people in the world. So don't, that's why I tell you to smile. Okay? You're the luckiest people in the world. So don't, that's why I tell you to smile. Okay? You're the luckiest people in the world. So don't, you're the luckiest people in the world. So don't, don't sweat the small stuff. I mean, be attentive to details. Be attentive to details and make sure that we don't screw anything up. But man, just suck it up and enjoy details. And make sure that we don't screw anything up. Be attentive to details and make sure that we don't screw anything up. But man, just suck it up and enjoy details. And make sure that we don't screw anything up. But man, just suck it up and enjoy this. You are where millions of other people would love to be. It's an incredible time to be where you are. Be attentive to details and make sure that we don't screw anything up. But man, just suck it up and enjoy details. And make sure that we don't screw anything up. You are standing on the shoulders of giants, not me included, okay? But real giants from our earlier programs. And you are a part of the team that will push the boundaries of exploration and one day reach the planet that has eluded us for generations, Mars. 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 Although I've already had the privilege to fly in space 4 times, I can tell you that, because I was asked this question earlier, I would hop on a Dragon in a heartbeat. And I hope my wife Jackie is not listening to this because she probably has other ideas. But in other words, I'm incredibly envious of all of you. Peggy, I look down there at you and I mean this. I am envious of you all and where you are. You're being given an awesome responsibility, however, to represent our nation on the journey to Mars. And together, that's now our challenge to inspire our nation and the world to believe in the dream of extending human presence farther into our solar system than ever before. I pledge my support and I wish you Godspeed. Thanks to all of you, every single one of you here at JSC and at all NASA centers across the country, and to the contractors also, because we're all a team in this. Thanks to all of you who are with us today. And I truly hope that you'll be continue to join with us in supporting this noble endeavor. And so now I told Mike Fink he could talk forever, by the way, because you all were here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Administrator. Now we'll hear from the woman who is leading this initiative, Commercial Crew Program Manager Kathy Leaders. Now we'll hear from the woman who is leading this initiative, Commercial Crew Program Manager Kathy Leaders. Now we'll hear from the woman who is leading this initiative, Commercial Crew Program Manager Kathy Leaders, who also previously managed the International Space Station's Commercial Cargo Resupply Program.
So, wow, I can't tell you how happy I am to be here today. You know, it's great to be able to finally talk openly.
With our crewed flight in early 2017, as shortly as we can make it, and still maintaining, obviously, reliability and safety being key. So that's a top-level summary of our program. I want to make sure I give you the time for Q&A, but I do want to close with one final statement, and I say this as often as I can. For those of you that have known SpaceX for years, you'll hopefully notice that we would not be the company that we are today without the guidance and the partnership that we have had with NASA, and we certainly understand the incredible, I don't want to say burden, it's not burden, the incredible responsibility that we've been given to build the systems necessary and capable of flying crew. So thanks very much, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you. We're here at the home base of the astronauts, and joining us today is Mike Fink, who has logged more than a year in space during 3 missions, including as commander of Expedition 18. He is the astronaut liaison to the Commercial Crew Program.
Good morning and welcome again to Johnson Space Center, NASA's Center for Human Spaceflight. And it's a huge honor for me to represent one of the finest space operations teams on the planet or off the planet, including my fellow astronauts. There's not another group on this planet or off this planet that wants the success of the Commercial Crew Program more than we do. We've been part of the team. We've been embedded with the Commercial Crew team since the very beginning. We have badges, we walk the floors of Boeing and SpaceX, and we add our experience with spaceflight. We add our experience with spaceflight, and we think that we are a value added to the entire Commercial Crew Program, and we're always keeping our eyes on safety. Wonderful, beautiful, magnificent, I'm biased. Wonderful, beautiful, magnificent, I'm biased. I love our space station, and it produces great science, 16 orbits each day, as well as excitement. And it's a great time to be part of the American space program on our way to Mars. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark Carreau for Aviation Week. And I have a financial question. I guess it's for Kathy. Could you tell us how much of the contracts has been released to Boeing and SpaceX so far to pursue their development?
You know, right now, Boeing's accomplished 2 milestones, and SpaceX has accomplished their first milestone. And overall, you know, when we go through the whole development activities and all the fundings that's going to be there, we'll have invested about $5 billion, about $5 billion, about $5 billion going to be there. We'll have invested about $5 billion in development funding. In addition, when you looked at the pricing for the missions that we looked across the 5 years that we have not to exceed pricing for, we were able to also get an average seat cost of about $58 million per seat.
So it's a challenge to precisely have a vision of what it will look like. If you asked the aviation industry what it was going to look like in 1916, I doubt anybody would have been able to describe what it looks like today. It's clear, though, that it will grow. I don't know if your question was centered around the fact that I said we'd have a Boeing test pilot and a NASA astronaut. That's kind of common for us in any new vehicles that we release and put through a test program, is that we would have a Boeing test pilot be a part of that activity. I think, though, that as the commercial industry in low Earth orbit matures, there will be all kinds of people traveling to low Earth orbit. So get that going.
Let me add one thing, and it's because I want to try to add some consistency to what we say. You heard me mention several times that we're about going to Mars.